Hey guys, Marsing here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so here we are, we stand on the precipice. The World Tournament, everyone's favourite game mode, is returning tomorrow. Well, it's tomorrow for me. It starts at like 6 or 7 a.m. I know for some of you guys that means it's going to be late Thursday night, technically, but the World Tournament will soon be upon us once again. We did, of course, have a bit of a funny slip up on Global with the World Tournament going live early after the last data download due to an error in the files regarding the start date of the World Tournament, and that means that some people were able to get in and do a bunch of runs on the World Tournament before it officially started, and of course that meant you were also able to complete a bunch of missions and get a bunch of stones. Now unfortunately for those people, a lot of those people were pretty happy that they were able to get in time. Some people, of course, not finding out until it was too late, felt a little bit disappointed because the people that got in and got a few runs done obviously got a few extra stones. However, they have now addressed fully the updated thing in the news to say that the everything is going to be reversed, everything is going to be cleared, and it basically says here the tournament points and related progress records have been cleared. The specific details are as follows. So tournament points have been reset to 0, all tiers have been reset to Pilaf tier, related battle records and win streak records are cleared, completed missions will remain completed. Please note that mission rewards that have already been claimed cannot be claimed again. So unfortunately, what that means is, of course, if you were able to jump in and do some runs and therefore complete some missions, those missions remain completed. You don't get to do those missions again. So unfortunately, that means if you were able to get in and do those extra free runs right at the very start, you do not keep any of the progress or anything from doing that. So in a way, I guess it's one of those things, it makes it fair for like the entire player base. Nobody got extra rewards because they were able to get in during that. I think it was less than an hour that it was up before it got taken down, but no one got any extra rewards from anyone else. If you missed that window where it was open for a short period of time, you haven't missed out on anything, which I think realistically is just fair for like the overall player base, right? So rankings have been reset. Players who viewed the opening animation will not trigger the animation again. That one's interesting because that literally just means the when you click to go into the World Tournament and it comes up with the scroll that says like you have been invited to the 61st World Tournament. If you've seen that already because you did access it like while it was available early, you won't see that animation again, which I suppose for the people who are going to grind non-stop for the highest rank possible, that means you save yourself a few seconds. And then, yeah, records of suspended games have been cleared. So if you were in a run randomly and haven't played the game since then, when you load the game back up and it says that you have a game in progress, if you press OK to continue, it will probably cause the game to crash because that thing has all been wiped and the tournament should be closed. All the progress has been reset. So I don't imagine anyone who did get in and play like an early run or two just then hasn't touched the game since, like, for the couple of days since that happened. But on the off chance that that is the case, just be aware that you will not be able to continue on from there. So yeah, World Tournament will be starting up as usual at the normal time. Remember that the World Tournament LR reward for the local bracket is the LR Chi-Chi. This is the second World Tournament that she has been available, so unless you got number 1 in the local last time, this will be your first opportunity to actually get dupes for her. She is relatively good, like fairly solid, like for a free-to-play like World Tournament card, relatively solid, like Goku family support. She's just lacking like a really strong team to be run on. We need like a new good future sort of like Goku family team that will include all of Goku family like under the full leader skill in order for her to be really good. But she certainly is a fairly solid unit for a free-to-play, like considering the World Tournament cards are technically free-to-play. You only have to finish in the top, like, it's only like 150 or even 200 local to get a single copy of her. So she's definitely very gettable if you're someone who plays a bit of the World Tournament, even if you just go for the sort of minimum, completing all the missions to get all of the Kais and all that kind of stuff. You get a decent amount of stones. It's one of those things I would recommend at the bare minimum doing the missions. It can take over the entire weekend. It only really takes like a couple of hours. And obviously if you have Piccolo Jr., it is very, very easy to do with the whole just swipe up on the screen and then you win. So you can get a decent amount of rewards if you just do the bare minimum, and then you potentially will still get a copy of Chi-Chi as well. I guess it depends how competitive that local is, but you don't need to finish in a particularly strong position to be able to get a copy of her. So we also have the different awakenings. We have the Int Trunks from the BoJack movie. He seems like a really, really good support. I am of course going to do showcases for all of these units that will go up throughout the weekend, because of course I will be doing my World Tournament weekend subathon event, where going live from 4 p.m. UK time, I will be grinding the World Tournament. And obviously we will be adding time onto the timer based on subs and donos and stuff like that. And if we hit all of our goals, that means we will be doing an 8-hour World Tournament grind tomorrow for day 1 of the World Tournament. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. But I will be recording the showcase and having those go up while I am doing the stream. So this guy seems really good. I'm really looking forward to him. I was waiting for his awakening. I think he's really solid. We'll check him out. Probably he'll be the first showcase that I put up, I think. We also have the Piccolo Jr., who's one of the characters from the DB Saga banner. Those characters are always really weird and like hit or miss, and like honestly generally not particularly good, I don't think. This guy seems really weird. He seems like he's designed for really long events, but he sort of like intermittently gets these one like burst of strength turns, right? He has guard against one enemy, which is pretty good. And then like on turn 3, he has a one-time only boost with a guaranteed crit and like a guaranteed stun if the enemy can be stunned. Then on turn 6, he has a one-time big boost, guaranteed crit, and then a seal. And then on turn 9, he then gets an attack and defense boost and a seal, but that stays permanently. But obviously in the current meta, there aren't really any events that go for like 9 turns or longer. So it'll be interesting to see whether this guy has been designed, like his awakening, or his EZA I should say, has been designed with like future content in mind. Because this is something we talked about with the AGL Trunks quite a bit, where it's like, is his EZA the way it is because the next lot of content is going to be longer form events that sort of like don't disable dodge, and then he could be pretty good in those. Is that going to be the case where we're going to get a lot of longer events against one enemy specifically, of course, so that this guy having guard will come in handy? Who knows? I think out of the 3 units, he probably seems like the one that is the least useful, especially being a Piccolo Jr. I mean, he is on some decent categories, but he's on Demonic Power as well, to be fair, which is a solid team. But he seems kind of, he seems the least impressive out of the 3, I think. And then Jackie Chun, he seems interesting, but they've made it so that he's good for World Tournament and Battle of Wits teams, neither of which are like particularly crazy, like super strong categories at the moment. But obviously World Tournament is kind of a dead team, and Battle of Wits at least does have some strong options, so the fact that he can fit onto another team is pretty good. And he is giving a decent amount of support. His raw defense can get up to a fairly decent amount after he attacks. He builds up for each super attack he does, and then for each attack he either receives or evades, which is good. And then of course he's got this weird mechanic that I think he's one of the few units in the game that has it, where the enemy that he hits with his 18 key super, he then gets 50% damage reduction from that particular enemy, which obviously is kind of weird if you're fighting multiple enemies. Obviously, if he just straight up had the damage reduction, it would be better, because it means you have to be facing only the one enemy because you only get the reduction against them. And of course, you don't get it until you hit them with your 18 key super, which means he can still be in trouble when it comes to things like AoEs. But he seems like he could be pretty good. With the fact that he gets the build up with each attack received or evaded, I feel like he's a unit that you can very comfortably just give like full dodge to, and then he could be quite good. But again, like, it's one of those things, we kind of need like a new big Battle of Wits character to come out or something, or like a Carnival LR to come out that gives Battle of Wits 220% or something like that, and then this guy maybe would be in a good spot to be a support unit for that team. Whereas at least currently, I'm not really sure. Like I say, I will be doing a showcase for him, but not necessarily sure like what the best team to even use him on, like the best build will actually be. But I will go ahead and obviously do showcases for all these guys anyway, so we can see how well they perform during the showcases. But let me know what you guys think. Obviously, all of the Awakenings and EZAs go live straight away tomorrow when the World Tournament starts, so you don't actually have to play any World Tournament if you already have a bunch of the Hercule signatures or the EZA medals already. You can obviously just go ahead and do the EZAs straight away. I've been fortunate enough to finish in like decent enough spots in the last few tournaments that I've gotten more of the EZA medals than I actually need for the units that are available at the time, which means as the new EZAs come out, I can essentially just EZA them straight away, which obviously then allows me to go ahead and get the showcases recorded. So let me know what you guys think. What are your plans for this World Tournament? Now, bear in mind, this is potentially the first World Tournament where we are going to see the change to the World Tournament banner that they mentioned in the last World Tournament, where there's going to be a change to the way the World Tournament, like World Tournament tickets, are going to be going away. However, we did get an update not long ago for Global talking about the maintenance, which is scheduled for the 26th of December, and that is the one that converts all of the World Tournament tickets, like from those ticket banner, into Hercule signatures. So it remains to be seen whether they are going to do away with the banners and not give out any more tickets this World Tournament, or whether or not the this World Tournament will still give out extra ones, which then obviously will just get converted next time around when the next World Tournament happens. I'm not 100% sure exactly how that's going to go down, but the banners are going to be changing. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's just going to be impossible to get like the old World Tournament SRs and stuff. Not that any of them are particularly good, but I know that people from a collection purpose want to have like all the cards if possible. I'm not really sure. They're going to be making a bunch of the characters that you would have been able to get with the tickets. You're just going to be able to buy them with the Hercule signatures, and we can assume that obviously that means all of the SSRs, but I'm not sure if the SRs will be available. Which, like I say, from an actual like gameplay standpoint, isn't really a huge issue, because it's not like those characters are particularly useful for anything. But I know some people like want to have all the cards in the game, and if you haven't had a chance to get them all by now, there is the potential that you will have to miss out on some of those SRs. But like I say, it's not necessarily the end of the world. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts? What are your plans for this World Tournament? Are you going ham? Are you not really going to be playing it very much at all? Are you going to dip in and do the bare minimum missions? I also did put up a tweet earlier today asking for people's feedback on your thoughts on the World Tournament. I'll put a link to it as like the pinned comment or something, just to get people's thoughts on what could be done to improve the World Tournament in the future. And I'm going to make that into a video at some point over this weekend, just reading through your guys' comments and suggestions. So do go and check that out if you want to have your ideas included in that video. You can find it on Twitter. Like I say, I'll put the description, I'll put the link in a pinned comment here on the video so you can find it. But yeah, that is going to be it for the video, guys. Hopefully I will see you at the World Tournament weekend grinding for the subathon. We'll be starting, as I say, 4 PM UK time on Friday the 12th of December. I think that works out as being like 8 AM Pacific and 11 AM Eastern or something like that. But if all goes well and we hit all the goals, it will be an 8-hour World Tournament grind. So hopefully I will see you guys then. So that's it for the video. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.